nigga, the doc didn't cuss, nigga. Got it in. That nigga M is cold, man. M is cold. That nigga Snoop hated on him too.
Who hated on him?
Snoop.
He Snoop.
Welcome to Game Point Sports.
I'm Robbie the Rocket.
I'm M Goodnight.
And this is Game Point.
No fingerprint.
Yay!
We got my man Sebo in the house. How you doing today, man?
Hey, yep. Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, man, with a chance to make a difference.
Hey, for sure, for sure. Every day you can make a difference. You just got to do right. What up? We're going to talk about these Olympics. Let's get on these Olympics before we go too far. What's y'all big news in the Olympics, man?
The Asian stepping out on everything with any kind of melanin in it in the 4x100, man. What's his name?
Troy yoing 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 yoing. That's right. Troy yoing 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 yoing.
He needs to bring a potato salad to the barbecue.
For sure.
I have a couple more questions for him.
He got a little nigga in him, I think.
Hey, he fast.
Hey, me and him was talking last.
Is Chinese people fast?
No.
Hey, stuff's just started, man.
Hey, me and him talking. It must be a pandemic. We ain't never seen a Chinaman beat a nigga in nothing. In no sprints.
I think because we in China, because we in so much debt with China, man. We done sold them like
some clones of
some African American calves or something.
Yeah.
You gave him a little DNA, huh?
No, we need to test them. Them and the Canadians, we need to test because y'all beating us.
Nah, that ain't. Something ain't.
It's something in their water.
That's not.
I think it's something they pumping their water. Some of that Balks and the Berry Bond. That's what it is.
Man, we just having a down year, man. I think it's the pandemic, man, then messed us up, man. I think the pandemic's didn't mess us up really. I think.
What's up with females volleyball, man, on the beach, indoors? That's been like a highlight, man. That's been very competitive.
Hey, I've been watching it, man, and I see USA. They doing their thing.
I enjoyed that. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Brazilians, even if they don't win, but shout out to the Brazilians.
They always,
like the
they
Brazilians,
always give you a good look.
Listen,
They always give you a good look.
Yeah, they're competitive. I enjoy that they are competitive.
I mean, yeah, hey. Always, I just like when they run. I like watching them when they run. You feel me? It's a pretty Brazilian.
So your boy's name is Sue.
Sue. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All I see is Sue.
Okay.
I mean, because that's what it sounds like when he blow past you. Like, Sue.
Cause he blew past them brothers.
Sue Bing, you know, we just gonna call him Sue.
We're gonna call him Sue.
Because I can't pronounce all of that. Hey, he ran a 9.83.
9.83 in a 100? In a 100?
Yeah, in 100.
What is that?
Hold on.
4x100. So that's his leg. And on his leg, he ran a 9 something.
No, I think he won 100 too.
He
Wait a
ran
minute.
too.
Yeah.
Wait. Stop out. See, that's what. Look. See. Look, clean it out your ears first of all. Yeah, rewind. What did he just say? A 9.83 in a 100?
Yeah, he juicing.
Y'all,
Man, we gotta test him. Come on, man.
Y'all think he got to be tested?
Especially Ben Johnson in the boat.
You think he got to be
boat
tested?
did he run that?
Man, listen, just like Sha'Carri Richardson when she ran that, I was like, she high.
The boat. That's the boat type time. What is they feeding them Chinamen? Them Chinamen ain't never had. They lighter than that. Well, they are lighter than us though.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
And what about the guy from Norway? The dude who won the 400
Oh,
hurdle
that
track
train was moving.
That dude right there was getting it.
So where are we at with the total medal count? Like how many golds?
Japan got us beat by like China got us beat like about 5 or 6 medals. It's like it was like 39. It was like something like we was down by like 9 or 8 medals just morning.
I feel like we got more medals, but we have more gold.
We have more medals, but we don't have more golds.
I think that Washington got more medals than us. We second. It's the China or the Japanese.
It's China. It's 1 and 2. I ain't nothing.
China.
Here we go.
Yeah, China got the most.
China has the most gold. Total 79 China, total 99 US. Gold, China has 36. We're right behind them with 31.
31. Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Japan is up there doing their thing too. Japan is a small place, man. But they at home.
I'm about to say, yeah, man, you got home court.
They got home court advantage. You know, they're home cooking. They go home to their house. They train at their place and they go home. They don't stay in a hotel. They don't stay in the facilities. They go to their house and
I think you got to stay in the facilities, man.
Yeah, they eat they food. Yeah. That's their home cooked meal. It's hard to be an international.
So shouts out to Allison Felix.
Man, shout out to Allison Felix, man. That's a mom out there doing her thing, man. She been in the Olympics since I can remember. Since like
she been in there for a while. Not since Jackie joined Kersey, but
I feel like
I think about this. This may be her 3rd Olympics.
I think she probably done more than that. Look at that.
And she 10 gold. I mean, not 10 gold medals, but 10 medals to have the most medals in the Olympic track and field. Man or woman, she tied with Carl Lewis. So
shout out to her, man. Listen, the dedication it takes to really be able to stay focused and committed to your training, to really be able to just take whatever craft. And right now, especially in the Summer Olympics, you can be an Olympian in almost anything, man. You can be ping pong. I seen something, it was handball. I was like, what is that? I didn't even know that was but you know, if you dedicated to it and you really focus, I mean, shout out to anybody that's
listen, they come up with new stuff every Olympics. They got the new karate where you just do the moves. Who can do the moves the best? You're not even hitting nobody.
Skateboarding in there.
Skateboarding. You got 3-on-3 basketball. I seen some of that.
Yeah,
I'm seeing when you run with how you run with the ball and make goals. They running and throwing the pass the ball, making goals.
Hey, you know the one though, man. That water, what they mean the
water polo.
Yeah, water polo. Shout out to them, man. That's
the California water polo. Yeah, no, they treading water in 13 feet in fighting. They got the high. They got high school like that. Mm-hmm.
So I think she's been going to the Olympics since 2012.
Is that it? It's official?
Yeah. Yep, so 2012, 2016, 2020. It's her third Olympics.
Okay. But shout out, three Olympics is still
Hey.
every 4 years. Oh, now it's even been 5 years.
Yeah.
We was technically supposed to do the Olympics last year.
Mm-hmm. It's 2020. I was lost too.
Yeah.
I was lost.
Technically, you know, even with an additional year on that. So, you know, with 8 plus 13 years in the Olympics.
Hey, she's doing her thing, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
shouts out to she's 35 years old, still getting medals.
But Fluke says mixed gender track. Oh.
You ready to do that?
What? Oh, they do have a mixed gender. They do have a mixed gender
Track.
a relay.
I'll do that. Yeah, for sure. That's still solid. As long as your team got a dude, we got a dude, you got a female, we got a female. That's solid. I'm okay with that.
So, are you okay with the?
No, that means he's a guy turned into a girl running.
No, he talking about mixed, like a female and a dude.
No, I thought it was one of the first.
No. They have mixed gender track to where you have two guys, two girls, and
but no, they just said it was one that just won one. That was the first ever. If you Google it right now, I just seen it this morning.
The transgender.
The transgender. We ain't gonna talk about that till next week, but we ain't gonna go on that subject.
We talk about
it with that too. And just briefly, if we had to have a conversation on it, just as long, if transgenders is running with other transgenders competing in anything, that's fair. I think that's
that's fair. No, right. I'm saying it's a whole other. That's a whole other conversation. You know what I mean?
More or less than that, then that means that there's definitely some things you got to revisit. But I mean, if you're a transgender running against or competing against another transgender, fair ball. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, if it's a whole bunch of transgender guys, then cool. Y'all go ahead and do y'all thing.
And I think what they probably need to start doing and looking at is just really revisiting, can they make a lane for that so that they can actually have a competitive transgender whatever, so that there's enough of them that they can have a league or something that's competitive so they can get out there and actually run or compete against each other. And I think that's solid because, I mean, obviously we can see that there's enough of that. There's enough in that lane that can make it competitive. Let's just, create that lane for them.
Yeah, go ahead and let them do their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't support them running against a transgender woman running against regular women. I don't support that at all.
That's a conversation. That is a conversation.
But it may come to the point where that's going to happen. And do you think it's fair?
I mean,
Do y'all think it's fair? It's going to happen. So my daughter running against a young guy that may not be physically, well, he's a grown man. He's physically more athletic than her, but he's running against her. Because he's a different type of gender. Because now when you come a baby, you can name what kind of gender you want your kid to be. It could be a girl or a boy now. I don't know if y'all heard that. You can create whatever gender you want when your kid come out. If you want her to be a she can be a she. If you want her to be a he can be a he. But I don't know how they doing it. But I'm just saying, in the future, you're going to see that guys will be competing with girls, but because they're gender.
So, I mean, Sam Fluker says they should have their own Olympics, the transgender. So.
I mean, there's a Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Right? There's a Special Olympics, right? I'm not saying they got to run people like missing like limbs and stuff.
No, I know what you're saying.
Like they can have
the transgender Olympics.
Exactly, a transgender Olympics, and then open it all back up again.
They give them all the rights here. You might as well say we have an all black thing, all white thing. Then they give them all the rights there.
Look, that's what I'm saying. If everybody's special, nobody's special.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
So I just think, if everybody's special or, have, like opportunities and builds when it comes to how they compete, then, create a lane for them. Because I'm pretty sure there was before the Special Olympics, there's a lot of people who had, unique needs that was like, man, we still want to compete. And they was like, bet, let's fire it up. And then they did that, put it out there. It's been funded and supported, and I think there's nobody out there that's like, nah, man, that's not real Olympics. That's Olympics.
It definitely isn't.
Training.
It definitely isn't Olympics for them.
So, you have transgender Olympics, man.
That just sounds funny to me. But
I'm not going
I mean, it may eventually happen.
But you heard it here first, so just let me.
Yeah.
Transgender Olympics.
But all right, so I'm a let's talk about the American men sprinters, male sprinters, who have no goals this Olympics in any event.
But we ain't been like really competitive in men sprinting since before Usain Bolt. Because anything we had, Usain Bolt walked them down.
Yeah,
he was even looking back, cheesing at him and stuff.
Posing, taking pictures.
He was cheesing.
Carl Lewis was the last one I can remember. Michael Johnson. Yeah, Michael Johnson. Yeah,
he was stepping.
That was the last one that really competed. Yeah, so we really can't. It always been them Jamaicans. You know.
I mean, we was getting dusted out there. Like
saying, like that ain't. I can't say this Olympics is so like shocking when it comes to like men and female sprinting because the Jamaicans had a lot. Sha'Carri didn't want no smoke with them women. There wasn't no time she put up that was faster than the times that they've been putting out for the semis, for the finals, for all those. She didn't have. Now I'm not saying she couldn't have ran faster, but what I'm saying is from what times that were actually being put out there, she ain't want that smoke. Them Jamaicans is out.
Guys, them is grown women.
It's plantain.
Them is grown women out there, and they
Jamaican.
Yeah, my mom's Jamaican.
Are you fast?
Man, in my day, I used to get it in, you know what I'm saying? In my day.
So, man, we should be asking you, man, what y'all eat, man? What's going on?
Curry. I like curry and stuff.
I don't live there. You know what I'm saying? I don't live there. I don't know what they doing. That's probably all they do. Yeah, is train to make it to the Olympics.
They fast, though. They fast.
Man, thank y'all for sharing and thank y'all for commenting on here. You know what I'm saying? What you tell them all the time, man?
I forgot, man. Here at the AHRR Network, and especially here on Game Point, we like you to like, share, comment, repeat, and retweet, and do it all again. Subscribe, hit that bell, and do it every time that we come on. That's what we talking about here, man. We got a special guest, C-Bo. I'm M. Goodnight, and this is Robbie the Rocket Man. We gonna keep it moving. Let's talk about NBA free agency. Man. The biggest winners and losers.
So who's your biggest winner right now?
My biggest winner, I will go with the Miami Heat.
Okay. What you like about it?
They got PJ Tucker. Yeah. He's gritty. He brings gritty.
PJ Tucker's solid. He's but people don't give him enough credit, but like Milwaukee, I don't think Milwaukee would have got a dub or got a ring without PJ.
Nah, he had to be that gritty guy.
Yeah, you need a PJ.
So they got who else? So they brought in Kyle Lowry, a point guard that can steady the ship, and he's won a chip. You resign your guy Duncan Robinson. You still got Butler out there. I think they're my biggest winners right now. I think they everybody that they brought in kind of fits the mold of what they want to do, and they want to win right now. So they brought guys in who can win right now.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Robbie, how you feeling, man? Who's your pick, man? And don't just be throwing out on. Don't just be reckless.
Go State what?
Nah, I'm gonna go with the New York Knicks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I just kind of see the upbringing. It's good for basketball when they playing good. Yeah. They got Kemba Walker coming in. Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this. I don't know if y'all think I'm talking off the side of my neck. He's gonna remind me of a Chris Paul in the East Coast with that team, facilitating that team with them young guys.
Yeah, you're talking out the side of your neck.
I don't know, man. Kemba, if he's healthy, that's what he do.
It's like he's facilitator for them, like them young guns.
Hold on, Kemba was just in Boston with a bunch of young talented people, and he never once looked like a Chris Paul type of player. Elevated these guys' games, held them accountable. He's not that guy.
I just think he can bring something to the table if healthy. And I just see him. I see them that at New Life. Them young guns gonna bring the best out of him over there in New York. Randall playing at an all-time high. They kept D Rose, him and D Rose, them veterans out there with that veteran presence. I just see them. They're the up and coming young team, young guns. Which your boy up out of Duke, my little lefty that I like over there. What's his name? They drafted from Duke.
You talking about
the lefty to shoot the three. The point, what's his name?
I know who you talking about.
Yeah, him.
The dude from Duke. He's okay. He's all right.
They up and come with Knox. They got your boy Knox up out of Kentucky. Now, this should be his breakout year now.
Fournier, who's killing.
Out of the Celtics.
Who might be killing USA today?
Yeah, so you know they the up and coming young guns. So I said the Knicks had good things, big things coming.
All right, man. So who's your big winner?
I like the Bulls, man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like what they're doing. They picked up some Caruso. Everybody, and again, you gotta have role players. You can't look at championship teams or teams that make a run for a championship. It's just everybody shoots, everybody. Plays the air. You gotta have some role players, man. Caruso's that. You got DeMar Rosen's in there, man. He's getting after it, man. That's a nice signing. And you already got your boy who's in the Olympics right now, the All-Star. What's his name? The young gun.
Who with
light skin? Light skin is with
who? Levine.
Yeah, Levine, man. Levine is a true.
Hold on, hold on. What you saying about light skin?
That's like, light skinned people jump higher right now, man.
Okay.
Thing,
all right,
man. Jump higher.
I seen you kind of sneaking in, so I wanted you to finish that thought.
I can't, but they shoot a little bit better, man. They jump a little higher.
You agree with that?
I'm saying.
I'm just asking.
I thought light skin can't jump, so I don't know. I was told light skin can't jump. They just look pretty on the court. That's all I was told.
Man, we not gonna
the full attention when it comes to the dunk contest. Is light skins, man.
I've heard
they jump a little higher and they shoot a little bit better.
They said that the Nuggets couldn't go too far because they got too many light skinned people on their team.
Nah, that's
too many pretty boys.
They was ready to go.
Too many prima donnas.
But no, I'm not gonna go there, man. I love my people, light skin, dark skin. It don't matter what. So none of you guys brought up the.
Oh, and then Alonzo Ball. I forgot that, man. He's a great facilitator, man. But look, another light skin, man. I'm just saying. Look,
they too pretty over there.
Yeah,
you can't win looking pretty. Pretty can't make you win.
Oh yeah,
boys
the Splash Brothers.
The Splash Brothers, man. They get sunburns.
That's Silicon Valley.
They got sunburns, man.
I mean, shouts out to Chicago Bulls, man. I mean, let's no, none of y'all brought up the Los Angeles Lakers
on purpose.
So they brought in Russell Westbrook, a walking triple double. Carmelo Anthony, a bona fide scorer in this league, he still can score. Who else they got? They got some young guys in there. Wayne Ellington. Who else they got? Wayne Ellington. They brought in a whole bunch of players.
Yeah, but
Bazemore, Bazemore. They brought in
Malik Monk.
Dick Kendrick. Was it Kendrick Nunn? Was it Nunn?
They do have Nunn.
And they got Bazemore over there. They got a little bench. They kept Gasol.
Yeah, they need a good team doctor though.
Yeah, because them legs gonna be hurting. Their knees gonna be hurting every game. They're gonna have to ice them knees because them boys gonna be. No, now I'm gonna tell you this. They'll be exciting for the first half of the season. By All-Star break, they're gonna all be in wheelchairs and crutches by then.
Let me tell you something about the Lakers, man. When I was young, a lot of the Lakers were young.
Okay.
And I'm old. So I just think they're gonna be old. Like you're gonna be seeing grays popping up in their beard this year, and all those type of things.
Listen, I truly believe like the Lakers is like the one team that keeps the NBA a little. Like they do something every 10, 15 years where they can breathe life into LA that no other team can do that. Like you got to really like raise and grow a coach and a player and all these other teams. But the Lakers, man, they might go 5 years, 10 years without really having none, and they'll just load up a coach, load up the players, and then they'll just go on a run. And they like one of the only teams that can really do that.
Yeah, they load up and get about
There's
2 or 3.
Nobody else to do that. Like even when Kobe came, they brought Kobe, then Shaq and Phil, and then they load them up. Bring a bunch of star players and stuff, to role players to mess with them. LeBron come and then they bring some talent, load them up. AD, get some other, even with Magic, they just continue to load up these teams for LA, and I don't think any other team in the NBA has been able to do that consistently. I can't think of another team that's been able to do that.
Not consistently. Boston tries to do it.
Nah, ain't.
They tried.
They did it once, man, but they probably done that once in like 40 years. They put the big three together, and then after that, it's been shaky.
They started the trend for it, but
big three came after the Miami Heat big three, right? Or was it?
I thought this Boston came first with Garnett and Paul Pierce and whoever that else
Ray
was.
Allen.
Yeah,
Ray
they
Allen.
came first.
So they started
Right.
the trend with it, and LeBron then fell with it, and then the Splash Brothers came after. No, who was after that? Here's the Splash
Well, you guys,
Brothers.
those were kind of that was kind of a built
team though, yeah.
And then Durant came and made them that team. So the biggest losers, I say the Pelicans. They didn't get anybody. Zion is going to be on a move. He might be out there going to New York or one of these bigger markets pretty soon. And let's talk about Dennis Schroeder, man, who turned down $84 million extension because he thought he was going to make more money. Now, nobody's picked up Schroeder.
They ain't going to either. He's going to be a role player at best.
Man, is that...
And he gonna probably get. They ain't in the Lakers not gonna give him that type of money now.
Sacramento probably start.
No. Sacramento got a guard over there that looking so good out of Butler.
Yeah, they got two
guards. Baylor. Oh my God.
I mean, you got to pick one of them type of teams, though. You got to have a team that.
Now Memphis or somebody like that. Not Memphis. Minnesota. Minnesota.
Ja Morant.
He'll fit at the Toronto. He'll fit at Minnesota. He'll fit at something like a.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you turned down an $84 million extension
to be with the Lakers.
You banking on yourself.
After last season, though?
They offered it.
I done took it.
You banking on yourself. You thinking I can get more money, and now you're not even getting called.
I mean, but what that tell you is that he ain't been invited to none of LeBron's parties, man. Because LeBron would have told him, man, I'm already working with this little situation, man, that I got with these dudes. Every time LeBron goes somewhere, everybody want to play with LeBron.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. He's probably the most number one I want to play with player in the league in almost league history. Everybody want to come play with LeBron.
Oh yeah,
nobody want to play with Kobe. Nobody. There's certain players. People ain't tripping on Shaq, even though he's dominant. But Shaq don't be playing all the time. He be taking games and weeks off. Everybody want to play with LeBron. And so if Schroeder even turned that down, that means he ain't been at none of the parties.
Hey, you banked on yourself, and Schroeder, you lost. You lost big time.
You told him like, man, Westbrook coming.
Hey.
Russell Westbrook.
Is he not? He wasn't invited for a reason.
It's that blonde streak, man. I ain't never trusted nobody in the new millennium with a blonde streak.
Yeah.
You got blonde streaks.
Something ain't right with you. You ain't playing with a lot of yellow I mean. Something in your draws. And I was gonna say pennies, but
another guy who lost out is Andre Drummond. I mean,
he's on the market right now.
Dang, that's right.
The Knicks can get him over there. He'll be fitting with the Knicks.
I'll take Andre Drummond here though. He'd be a perfect fit for the Nuggets.
See that?
I like him at the Knicks or Chicago
honestly,
or in the Heat.
He got the whole league.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody would say I don't want him.
Yeah, pretty much. He's an East Coast guy though.
But you're not. He's another guy who's lost out on a lot of money. Like last year, like they was throwing money.
Look at Carmelo, man. Like if Carmelo is not the prototype of chasing money, sometimes it ain't about that, man. You got to find the right role, man. And Carmelo has had several times over the best opportunity to go with the best team competitively for less than what he could have gotten. He always goes for what he can get at the market value at that time, and it always goes to a team that is not competitive.
Yeah, they ran him up out of the league.
So I mean, I'm sure Carmelo doing well for himself, but I mean, he's still in his late 30s trying to chase this check. Chase this ring, and I don't really think that. I mean, I don't fault the Lakers for doing what they did because I think it's fun. It's good for basketball for us to be able to see what the Lakers can do in that type of environment. I think they put in who's the shooter? I know they picked up a shooter just recently.
They picked up none. Bazemore.
But they were making a lot of picks that weren't shooters, and that in itself is concerning because it's good for the regular season, but when you slow the ball down for a playoff type of basketball, you gotta have shooters, and Westbrook never really fits in that kind of scheme, man.
He's not.
He just be trying to just take off, man. Like he be playing that open gym, open rack kind of basketball, and it's gonna work in the playoffs.
Question to y'all. Win or bust? They got to win it all, or is it a bust?
They literally got contracts to say win or bust.
Oh, yeah, that's a bust. It's
win or bust? What you going with?
Bust.
Oh, it's a bust.
Bust.
It's not going to be healthy. It really all depends on what's going on with Anthony Davis. And the only reason why he stayed healthy during the COVID pandemic season because they had a long break in between.
I mean, I will say that though is that coming out of last season, that was a quick turnaround. And I think for any player who's a little brittle, you need as much time as possible. And I definitely think that played a factor on not just him, but a lot of marquee players going into this year's playoffs. So I think that in itself, I don't really just think that they brittle, the Lakers, but they are of age. And a full season does wear on you.
Listen,
this is LeBron's 19th season.
So is Carmelo's.
19th season.
I'm telling you, I was young.
I was just
club. Like these guys are like one.
Like what was you doing 20 years ago?
Exactly. Too much.
Man.
Exactly.
Look, these guys are
20 years. Y'all playing pro baseball. 20 years ago.
Getting your legs spread apart, and pulling a hamstring, and out for a season. Like,
yes. I mean, and I definitely think with modern medicine and having the technology that we have nowadays, they can keep it close.
The facilities is better. The doctors is better. The medication is better. Your body is better. You're taking ice baths. I would never sit no block of ice back in my day. Sit in a whole tub of ice. You ever took an ice bath?
I have, man, but I have not made a habit of. I mean, I had this one time where the way my account was set up and my hot water was not on. But I don't,
but other than that, like just sitting there taking a goddamn ice bath.
That was an ice bath though. That was just cold water.
Like an ice bath, boy. That'll kill you, boy. You just straight ice.
I had this disagreement with public service. It was,
it's like that sometimes. It's like
do it for like recovery purposes.
Did it because I had to. But let's talk a little bit of NFL. I mean, shouts out to my Nuggets though, getting Jeff Green though. Shouts out to me. I think that's
a good pickup for y'all.
Okay pickup, but
y'all don't compete in the West with that, but that's okay though.
We got
6 seed, 6, 7 seed.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. What we got going on in the NFL, Robbie? On the
NFL, let's talk about your boy, Aaron Rodgers. You already took it out the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna say this:
my boy.
They win or bust with them this year too, with Aaron Rodgers. It's like almost set up for a story to me.
Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna be there after this season.
We know that. But I'm saying it's already set up to where he could win. This is 3 years of charm. They've been there 2 years of back to back. The last game to get to the Super Bowl. Now they all this controversy with him going away and this and that. I just feel that it's set up for Green Bay to win it all. I don't see Green Bay really losing a game.
Wow.
I don't even see Green Bay losing a game this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bold statement on game point. That division is trash. Chicago trash. Detroit ain't got a chance. They sweeping them. Only other team is what? Vikings. That's the only on the nemesis. The Detroit Lions is trash.
So you say they're not gonna win a game?
And I'm saying lose a game in that division, especially.
In the division,
in that division, they won't lose a game in that division. So they're gonna be number one. They're probably gonna be the number 1 overall seed or the number 2 seed because the Tampa Bay brought their team back. But I see Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will get MVP this year, barring Mahomes may get an injury and Aaron Rodgers stay healthy. He will get an MVP, and the Green Bay Packers will be a team that will be in the Super Bowl. And I'm sticking.
I think that Green Bay will be competitive. I will say that. Yeah, I mean definitely. But I mean, you got the kid Fields over there in Chicago. You have. I think that's the one unique thing about NFL ball, even as opposed to even the NBA, is that man, it's such a team sport.
Ultimate team
game. You just have everything you talking about, and they really put out a high power offense. Is their defense gonna come to play? Can you be able to stop and hold some of these teams from scoring themselves? And I mean, obviously we already talked about with Kansas City. You talk about other teams like Tampa Bay. I'm still on the fence with them, but just in general, there's a lot of teams out there that can put points up. And so it's it could be whatever.
I'm just saying they strength the schedule is different. They said the schedule is not that it's in their favor this year. So they can run right through the schedule without maybe losing a game till they play in Minnesota. They're going
to be competitive. They're definitely going to be competitive. This is a league that's built around quarterbacks. So if you have a good quarterback, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be competitive.
So the Broncos going to be over 500?
I mean, we still talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay.
6-11. 6-11. 611.
We're gonna be over 500. We can go to that right now. We're gonna be over 500. We're gonna start Teddy Two Gloves. Yeah, I was asked earlier, was Teddy Bridgewater better than Drew Lock? I believe so. He's a veteran.
So who's gonna start?
It's Teddy Two Gloves. It's gonna start.
So Locke is already at number 2
in my eyes.
But what about the Broncos? Have they made that announcement?
They haven't made the announcement. They haven't made the decision. But from what I'm hearing going on in camp, that Teddy Two Gloves.
Why you not getting on this helmet like y'all be on my helmet about the Drew Lock? That's all I want to know.
I mean,
they on my helmet. I say something. Oh, he's trash. You don't know what you're talking.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even think that Locke is trash, man. I don't think the kid.
He didn't even have a chance last year. He didn't have nobody to protect him. He was running for his life. Give him that. Now this year we can talk.
Like, that. Like, coaches and quarterbacks just don't really get a lot of time nowadays, man. And there was a time before Peyton Manning was not good for a few years.
No.
We can go down a list of a lot of different quarterbacks who had to get better, and they had to support their team. There's a lot of coaches that came out historically and did not do well for a while, and they actually had the trust of their front office to get better. And I just think now it's just like, man, if you don't get us to the playoffs, you're not a good coach and you're not a good quarterback. And I just don't really necessarily see that as being, really a culture that, is sustainable, man. At some point, you're going to have to invest in your players and your coaches. They're going to have to lose. They're going to have to get better. They're going to have to learn. And that just comes with playing ball, man. And that's okay.
I mean, it's a what have you done for me league lately?
But y'all ain't got no players to come to this market.
I mean, now see, the NFL is different than the NBA. If you talking about the Nuggets, you won't get players. But we've had players come to the Broncos and play.
And leave.
You have, but yeah,
y'all have players that leave the Broncos and go to win championships. That's with every team. That's with every team. So we're not gonna go there and just say this is a Bronco only thing. You have players that leave teams and go to championship teams. You have players that came here and won championships. Star players like DeMarcus Ware. But you got to have that quarterback that's gonna bring these players here. Tom Brady they went to a good squad, acquired good players, and they still wanted to stay there.
Listen, Tampa had an all-star team
before Brady came.
I'm talking about when he got there.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
He brought him out of retirement.
Yeah. Gronk, Antonio Brown. They off the streets.
But they
running game with who's the running back that came out into McCoy. McCoy.
No, the kid from LSU.
They want to come play with good quarterbacks. If Aaron Rodgers would have came here, we would have got a couple splashes of big free agents that came here too.
I'll give you that.
So
I definitely would say that.
Now do Aaron Rodgers come here?
As a player with a couple years left on your contract, or that you got with good legs on you, if Aaron Rodgers said I'm going to Denver, I'm out. I'm gonna have that conversation with him. That's fair.
So I mean, we got a lot of news going on in the NFL. I want to talk about the Giants. I think his coach Joe Judge is the name of the coach.
Yeah,
they've had 4 players retire in the last week. Is he going too hard on these guys or what?
Well, I'd just like to say, as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so what? I don't care. All y'all retired, man. So what? Everybody quit. Stop even showing up.
You
we
guys
don't care.
Because you might not beat the Giants this year.
Jason Garrett, the head coach of the Giants.
You guys are, like we said, you guys are in the cellar of the NFC East this year.
I like the Washington team.
Hold on. Are you saying that the Broncos is in a better position in their division than the Eagles is in their division?
I'm saying that? we are
So
be second best. We could be second best.
Say out loud who's in you all's division right now.
Chiefs.
Okay. That's already you out of there. So keep
Chargers.
Going. Okay, you already out of there.
Nah.
Why? That little rookie is solid.
Now I'm gonna say this.
He has to learn how to win.
I'm gonna say this. It go to Chiefs. It go to Chargers. It go to Broncos. They go to Broncos. Then the Raiders. You can't even get a rate. The Raiders, they let us down every year, so I get into the line of trash. They win first 2 games.
Raiders record last year?
They had a better record than the Broncos, I think it was.
How could y'all at least put them ahead of them if they had a better record than them?
Because the Broncos was hurt. The Raiders really wasn't hurt.
The seller of their division. So it would be hard for me to have that conversation.
Hey, well, you could be talking seller talk then.
We're not in the cellar. The only thing we keep in the cellar is our wine and
I mean, who are you guys better than?
Not the Redskins. Get out the way, the Giants.
The Giants might be better, probably better than y'all.
Let's get them out the way early.
Daniel Jones. Hold on. Daniel Jones is better than who you guys have over there.
Why? How do we know that? You know, Hurts has played 4 games. He started 4 games for them. So how do we know that? I mean, Jones was there the whole year.
You guys are looking for a quarterback right now.
Yeah, we're not looking for a quarterback.
You're not set.
We're good to go.
In your eyes.
But we haven't. When did we put out there that we need a quarterback? I mean, we had a quarterback that said he might want to come to us.
You need a receiver. He might want to come. He might want to come here too, though.
Conversation, hit me up. Whatever.
You can go. Hey, hit him up when you get here in Colorado. Hit him up.
But we ain't really willing to give up all them first rounds for Deshaun anyway. He cool. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts has at least been able to show us that we can invest a season in. Mm-hmm. We can invest
Well, we're going to see right now because they said.
Still working off of a rookie contract. What? Why would we give up everything for Deshaun and we still can get something off him in 1 year?
Because you guys aren't close. We're close. So we can give it up. We can give up. We're close. We're a quarterback away from being.
Are you serious?
Centennial Airport. Yeah. Y'all close to.
We're close.
Yeah, y'all close to Centennial Airport.
Y'all won't win. Y'all won't even get smell a Super Bowl for the next 10 years.
Y'all, if we talked about teams, if we talk about pickups, if we talk about just last year's standings, you guys are easily the worst team in your division.
That's this year. We're talking about this year, though.
I'm just saying from where it stands.
Right now, on paper, y'all probably is the worst
on
team
paper, we're
over the Raiders. But I got the Raiders below y'all, though.
We literally.
I got the Raiders a little bit below y'all.
We're better than the Redskins. We better than the Giants.
Y'all not better than the Redskins.
Who is the Redskins? What team is that?
The Cowboys quarterback.
The Washington football team.
Yeah, the Washington football. It ain't the Redskins. It's the Washington football.
Renegade.
Yeah. Are they?
They're gonna be. They might be. They got like a name thing. They could be the Renegades, the Grenades. Whatever it is, man. Eagles and 6, man. I'm just saying.
Eagles 6. Eagles 6.
Yeah, y'all might get 6 wins. You're right.
No, I'm saying that's what it's going to look like for us, man.
You're right.
It's a breeze. I'm saying 6 wins in the division. So we got to play each team twice.
Yeah, no fingerprints game. No fingerprints.
Far-fetched.
I'm just saying look better on paper than what y'all doing. That's all I'm saying. That's all. So, I mean, it's just hard to have that conversation. When was the last time y'all been to the Super Bowl?
Since Peyton Manning came here?
5 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll never get another Peyton Manning again. They'll never get no Elway again like that ever again.
I mean,
y'all lucked up 1 year and got a Super Bowl.
Every time there's more than 2 people, it's just a Bronco bash.
I like the Broncos.
It's a Bronco bash.
It's the Broncos. I like their fans.
It's not even the Broncos. It's just Bronco fans' tone. Like,
yeah,
like your tone.
I just said that last. I'm
just speaking facts. So let's move on and get off the Broncos. The Giants had 3 players retire. Maybe Joe Judge is going too hard on them. You're okay with it. Let's talk about Josh Allen. Let's talk about Josh Allen, who has a
big contract,
$258 million contract over 6 years, $150 million guaranteed, the most guaranteed in the NFL history over Patrick Mahomes. What kind of pressure does he have on him, and are they an up-and-coming team that can beat the Chiefs in the AFC?
Big facts. The only other team outside of them that I think that will beat the Chiefs or has that competitive run in them is
Cleveland touchdown Browns.
Nah, I'm still a little shaky. Shout out to all my Cleveland fans. Cleveland. I appreciate you and I appreciate the team. But your boy, the Titans, man. The Titans is just they're a big team, man. And
they built for the trenches.
Yeah, they built to play and play in deep in the runs, in the playoff runs and in the snow and in the trenches. You know, that's other team. But otherwise, you do have to really give the
Buffalo
Bills.
That defense is powerhouse.
Look, the whole team is solid. Like, you guaranteed if you play fantasy football league, you're going to have at least 2 or 3 of them every week running with you. You're going to take a receiver. You're going to have Josh. Josh gets you banged. You're going to have a defensive. So they are definitely in the conversation.
Stephon Diggs over there catching everything. And they got another receiver over there, too.
Shouts out to you talk about fantasy. come join the Game Point Fantasy League. We're gonna be up in here running these things. I'm probably gonna win, so everybody can play for second place. Cause once I get up here, this is the type of shit that I do.
I don't rock coach. I fly first class. So you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I don't rock coach. Ain't nothing second class on me, family. You know what I mean? I fly first, family. So yeah, that means I don't know. Yeah,
I will shoot the link out. Pretty soon here for sure, because I don't like to lose. I like to win. I pick them well.
Have you ever won your league?
Oh, I won many leagues.
Many leagues?
Many leagues.
Did you win last year?
I didn't win last year.
Did you win the year before that?
I think I won the year before for sure.
You think?
Sure,
you can't think.
I
You
won
can't think.
my
You gotta
job
know.
league.
Talk facts.
My job league the year before.
Okay.
Gotta talk facts.
See, I like the week-to-week joint, man. Like when you just get to pick your lineup each week. That's kind of that.
Like that FanDuel one. You can switch your lineup.
Get it set up again. I really like that. It's a different kind of fantasy, but I think it's like it really supports keeping the engagement, because I don't know about you all's leagues, but a lot of times you get to a certain point in the season, man, all the players get hurt and then they start throwing games. You can be live and get into the game every week. So that week to week thing is something to look at.
I like the FanDuel setup. I like the FanDuel type setup. But yeah, NFL is probably ready. You had your first game. Pittsburgh beat Dallas, I think, what is it, 16-3 or something? In the first Hall of Fame game.
We got football back, y'all.
It's back.
It's
shout
back,
out to Edgerrin James. I don't know if y'all seen his Hall of Fame card.
Oh, okay.
That thing is
was clean.
Fly.
Yeah, shout out to all the Hall of Famers too.
It's probably like he's from Miami, so it's probably some type of caprice or something.
He probably got dunked. They pushing like 30s and up now.
The great Peyton Manning out there, you know what I mean? Shout out to the great Peyton Manning. He won one in Denver for you Denver Broncos,
He lives here. He's a Bronco.
He's not a Bronco at heart, but he's a Bronco, you know what I'm saying? He's a Colt, he'll always be a Colt by.
You think, do you think he identifies as a Colt? That's what we
they had
it's like, what do you identify?
They had a bad part. But he'll always be a Colt in everybody's book.
Y'all see that?
Like Tony Dungy. Oh, that thing clean. That old school home gold.
That thing is hard.
That thing
pull up Edgerrin James. Pull up Edgerrin James Hall of Fame card, man. That thing is raw.
That boy is so clean.
But yeah, he look like he rolling on some 30-inch Dayton's gold.
All gold. That thing all gold. That thing's so clean.
There you go. It's up there, man. Y'all can see it, man. My boy out there. And Bo says, man, the Patriots, they have a chance to beat KC, unseed KC. I'm not gonna ride with that, man. He talks. He's another one. Yeah, he's a Patriots fan.
Now I say this. Belichick, good coach. You catch a Mahomes when he ain't playing that weekend, y'all got a chance. But if Mahomes playing, y'all ain't got a chance. So therefore, the odds of y'all beating them ain't good.
They starting Cam. Nobody understand that he's Cam Newton is their starting quarterback, and that in itself is going to present a lot of challenges. We've obviously seen his skill level decline over the last couple of years, but more importantly, that also adds to his accuracy is decline. He's not throwing no bombs.
Man,
he holds the ball too long. Trust me, having Wentz when we had Wentz, I can tell you there's nothing good that can come from a quarterback that holds the ball too long.
Nothing but injuries.
Nothing good.
Cam Newton's more worried about his next church hat than his game. Like, he's gonna be style, whatever his style. In his eyes, he's gonna be styling before the game.
Yeah, but you can't let him go and then let Westbrook walk around the way he's walking around.
Russell, don't they look kind of... Now, when we was coming up as kids, you wear something like that, you think something ain't right with you, right?
Before we get to the second half, I'm gonna pose a question to y'all real quick. And there's a UFC fight this week, Lewis versus Gagne.
That's my dude, Derek Lewis.
Yes, from Houston. He's fighting at home. He got a chance to.
He's got the most knockouts in UFC.
He has a chance to win it, at home. I guess this Cyril Gagne or whatever.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. I think he's 10-0, knocking everybody out in his way. Nobody's been able to do anything. But shouts out to these two young fellas doing their thing. But the question I want to pose before we went to the second half was, Who is the worst dresser in sports right now?
Cam Newton.
Nah, I ain't gonna say that.
I'm going Cam or Russell Westbrook. Them the only two I can see that's trash.
In all the sports?
Yeah, we going all sports.
I'm going Cam Newton.
Belichick, man.
Belichick.
With the hoodie? With just the hoodie and the sweatpants?
His stuff be looking weird, man. He be having like he about to cut the grass vibes.
Yeah. Like he don't care. Cut off sleeves.
That's very workmanlike. It's very workmanlike. He came to work.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Cam Newton or Russell Westbrook.
I'll probably go with. There's another one out there. I can't. I mean, LeBron and Dwayne, they were looking bad for a while.
Durant don't look too swell.
They kind of brought it back, but I'm gonna go with Cam Newton, man. He's
Cam Newton.
Down the worst. I mean, you can't tell if he's wearing men or women's clothes.
Cam Newton by far. He wearing female shoes with a silk shirt with the pants don't wear. His dick can't even fit through the pants. You have to be how tight them motherfuckers be.
On your head when you got that kind of action going on up there, man. That's something to just keep in mind. But I mean, listen, I ain't gonna I don't know. I ain't gonna give the kids a hard time.
These grown men. Very grown men. I'm gonna give them a hard time.
They jumping in something stupid and they driving home. Or something
they doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why they dress like that. But we're going to get to the second half. We're going to get off topic of sport. We're going to talk a few other things. So, man, stay seated, stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? On the Game Point. This is Fired Up Friday. We got my man Sebo, Robbie the Rocket in the house. I'm M. Goodnight. And we're going to get to the second half. Like, share, repeat, comment, retweet.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Game Point to the second half. You know, this is where the players get their grit on. You change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You insert the game plan, and you start imposing your will on folks. So this is the second half of Game Point. Like I said, we got my boy Sebo, my man Robbie the Rocket. I'm M. Goodnight, and what's happening, y'all? What's happening? Y'all still good?
Man, it's Fired Up Fridays, man. That's fired up, man, this week, man. What kind of news you got for this week for us, man? What's some good news y'all was talking about this weekend, man, with the Fired Up Fridays, man? What y'all see? What attracted you this weekend? What caught your eyes and what made you fired up?
Cancel culture.
Oh, okay.
That fired you up?
That kind of fired you up?
Now, I'm going to hold off on that so we can have a conversation.
We can talk about it right now.
The
Versus had me going too, though.
Okay. Okay.
Like Jadakiss has put himself up there, man. He has cemented himself as top 5 in a lot of, if you're talking about lyrically,
Okay.
a lot of people's
views.
Yeah,
Okay.
they list. And I mean, it would be hard right now for somebody to really say different. I mean, it was a tough scene for the Dipset, man. It was a tough scene to go in there with the heavy jewelry on. Jules Santana looked homeless, man. I don't know if that's I get
fresh
it.
out.
That's kinda
Fresh
weird.
out.
And again, I ain't knocking nobody's fashion, but he could have invested that much energy in his bars too, because it just didn't come across that way, man. And they was rapping over their own tracks, so they were basically already having lyric tracks on there, and then they were rapping on top of that. And the Locks wasn't having none of that, man. And that was just as long as they've done verses, I have not seen anybody get bodied like that before.
Man,
and there's been issues. They didn't had the girls come out there who was drunk. They didn't have people that come out there with having sound issues, audio issues. We didn't have. There's a lot of things that happen, but nobody just got bodied like that. I think Dipset, that impacted their legacy, man.
Well, it was a lot of a lot of shit talking beforehand, about Jim Jones. He was out here.
I mean, they New Yorkers.
He was getting everybody to business. What's up, Big Lynn? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? He said the Locks did their thing. But Jim Jones, see, me personally, let me go in. I don't really know any Dipset songs. I'm not really a fan.
Ballin'?
I mean, that's a Jim Jones song.
Yeah, but I mean, you brought Jim Jones, so I'm thinking Ballin'.
I mean, I've heard that. But that's probably as far as I go.
But technically, how many Lock songs do you know too?
I don't really know many Lock songs.
Exactly, and that's why when you had the two of them come together, there was a lot of people who's not really East Coast rap fans who was just like, who's that guy? And they were talking about Jadakiss specifically, like that guy is tearing a hole in that group,
by itself. By itself. But
it was a murder scene. Man.
I mean,
that's not something you want. Like, they kids was watching that, man.
Jada is one of the dudes who, from the East Coast, who I've bought his CDs several times.
And see, that's the thing is that I don't know if he always puts together the best CD. It's just performance-wise, it just lets you know. A lot of these young dudes too know that it's really about how you perform. And let's call it what it is, man. It's not these A&Rs. It's not these big record companies right now that are pushing these new artists. What's pushing these new artists is that they fans is going to go see them on tour. Their fans is following them, and for them to really have a consistent following or a name for themselves, they got to be able to perform, man. And that's one thing that I think you're seeing with Jadakiss is that he was like, cut the soundtracks and all the lyric tracks. Let me give y'all a freestyle. Let me have a stage presence. Let me really give y'all that and take all that other extra stuff off it. Because a lot of times what they talking about, like my money, my this, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, but you have no stage presence. And I think a lot of the young people really I think a lot of them was just like, man, it was in their notepad. Like, okay, I seen that.
Whoa.
I never want that to happen.
Could it be Jadakiss is the only person to do this 2 times around? This is the second time around.
So he kind of had a little, he kind of had like a little,
even though he did his thing
the first
up against Fab. I mean, and Fab is one of the best lyricists too. Yeah, and Fab couldn't hold Jadakiss's water in that one.
I mean, but it's just one of those things that I think it's like being able to dig into your parents' records and you hear them like, all these songs I listen to is sampled from this album, and they be like, yeah, it was one of those where you was like, man, okay, Jadakiss is one of them. Yeah, he different, and I think if Dipset even wanted to stand a chance in that particular battle, they at least had to approach it where it's like, we about to compete with somebody who's different.
Yeah.
He's different. He's not of a natural thread where, we could just come out here and say whatever or put on an outfit or a chain and I'm going to have to really go in. Like, Escape took people by surprise with SWV because when I seen it, I'm like, oh yeah, SWV is a layup. But then Escape was going acapella.
Escape got fired though. Escape, bro. They got fired though.
They was like, I know Coco different. So I can't just go in there and just saying and doing whatever.
Yeah, Coco the truth. So you know what I'm saying?
Your opponent.
You got
walked in there.
Yeah, he knew his opponent. He
got to be prepared.
They wasn't prepared. They was. You could tell they was more on the level of just rapping.
As in New York, they was smoking too many L's. Probably,
Too many L's. Too many shots. Bust me down, slam the shorties.
Cameron went in there. He want to be the flyest thing seen. And they said, man, you don't even live out here no more. Man. You live in Miami, man. So like you don't even know what's going down in New York. And I mean, it's kind of like Jada did them all by itself. It was like Jada and the Locks versus the Dipset, but Jada kind of like was that guy who just stood out and he just did his thing. So
I can say I think it was great for the culture because obviously Jadakiss had really stood out in that particular forum. But I think again, if it's a teachable moment, and I think there's a lot of young artists, whether they want to admit it or not, they had their pen and pad out like right now.
Taking notes.
Yeah. Okay, that was nice.
I never want that to happen. I definitely want to do that to somebody else. And we might see, the next generation or maybe even the next couple verses where you really see somebody come out there prepared and you have a good show.
You're going to see now you're going to have to step up your game. And another thing with the Dipset, Jim Jones, why are you falling off stage and those type of things? You already lost, right? Yeah.
I mean, them rappers is under the influence, man. It's like most barbers right now, man.
You back on it, huh?
Yeah, man. Just take pride in your craft, man. Y'all cannot be lit on a versus. Like, you really got to be there to perform. That's why you can't be up here lit giving these fades. Like, man, I've seen some young men come out of there.
That's drunk.
Never get.
You be back. You be back ready to kill him.
They never come back.
You been ready to kill him.
Only to never come back. Big Lynn says, man, Jada got bars. Jada does have bars.
Yes, he does.
He is one of the guys that you don't really want to battle and go punchline for punchline with because He's gonna give you the business. He's gonna body you.
If somebody was like, man, hey, Tyson's outside and you want to fight, not everybody, but specifically you. Yeah. You gonna go out there drunk and high? Nah, you gonna start drinking water. You gonna do some push-ups. You're gonna be prepared, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like that's part of what happened. They went out there, trying to fight like a Tyson-esque type of rhyme flow, and they was under the influence.
Yeah, they went out there for freshman football, and
when it was varsity hitters out there,
varsity guys was out there showing them what's up.
So talk to me about this, man. And since we're talking about rappers right now, let's talk about this cancel culture. What's going on with the baby right now, man? How you feel about it? Do you think they right because of what he said? And obviously, some of the listeners and people he made some comments, some inflammatory comments about the sexual prowess of certain people and or what behaviors or how they may be or act outside of one of his shows, rapper stuff. But do you feel like this is appropriate right now for a rapper or any rapper to get part of his canceled? Because he's getting carried out festivals.
I'll say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. He didn't say nothing wrong, got a line. He just said, if you don't suck, that didn't say nothing about no gay or nothing like that. But the goddamn president that we voted in, I played with her pussy. I grabbed her pussy. They voted for him. So what's the difference?
I didn't know you was going to say that. But I will say this, is that as part of it...
I didn't vote for him, though.
I will say...
They voted for the people voted for him.
What about, if we're going to do that and say that, then are we saying that we can replace him with like a Lil Nas X? Because he's putting out videos where grown man is not wearing any clothes and dancing. He's putting on he's having these misogynistic dances with the devil, and he kissing people all in the mouth and stuff.
Man.
But they for it.
But what I'm saying is it not just a forum for all of that? Or is it just saying that if the baby who doesn't necessarily do that says it is bad, and then because he comes out and says this is what I do is good? Now, I think that's what we have to really be careful about, because I think what they're trying to do right now to him can happen to any of us.
It can happen to anybody.
It's like there's a cancel culture where it's like everything you said was cool, but it was that one phrase, your show was great, the songs we love. but it was that one thing you said, like Lil Wayne when he said, I beat something up like Emmett Till, and they was like pulling contracts from him, and
But he didn't necessarily say the word.
He said enough.
It was a freedom of speech.
I mean,
it's a freedom of speech, right?
It is a freedom of speech.
Like Lynn said, freedom of speech.
Said freedom of speech. He says he wasn't wrong with what he said, and Lil Nas X is trying to be like Rihanna. All I can say is I definitely don't think he said anything wrong, but you got to know what's going on in the world today and who's kind of like running things. So this LGBTQ community, I hope I said it right, they have a big following, and they're like, they got a lot of people that's high up, that can shut you down. Personally, I've heard cancel culture, I've heard the word, I've heard it, but I've never really like seen it until now.
You're really seeing it. I think I have seen it, and I think we've seen it in other cases with other artists. And again, I made mention of Lil Wayne when he had said beat it up like Emmett Till. They were attempting that, but I think right now the problem is that a lot of people are making their money and are branding themselves online, and that's something that we didn't really have as a presence prior. So. When you have basically somebody could be making millions or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars just by how many followers they have.
Millions.
Yeah, right? You're not putting in a lot of work.
Yeah. So
basically what they're saying is that we can also take that from you because you're not putting in a lot of work from statements or comments or views that you may have as well too. Yeah. So you have to look at it as easy come, easy go. So I personally tell the baby, I think you just got to outwork all the controversy. And I think anybody out there, you make a mistake, you do something, you just got to outwork the controversy, man. I'll be putting out more hits. I'll be putting out more music. I would just be in their face more. And you just going to have to just wade through it. And if your people are going to support you, this is a great opportunity to find out.
And Bo says it began with the purple ribbon.
The purple ribbon.
And so I don't. I might. You guys gotta give me. You guys gotta.
I may not be on the purple ribbon. He might be on to something.
You gotta give me the knowledge on the purple ribbon.
The purple ribbon, yeah.
I'm not knowing about the purple ribbon.
A lot of praying in the closet. That's basically what he said. I didn't know what that was.
Festivals is going to be getting closed down in the next couple of weeks and months anyway.
Due to the variant.
So I think, this might be a good opportunity anyway for, if he was ever going to be in cancel culture, I'd rather be like now than before because the Obama had already canceled his gala event. We've had a couple festivals right now that are pending and might pull. It's getting weird anyway. So it's like he may not have been at them shows anyway, but I'm just saying I would make it. I'm going to have that conversation, and I tell these people, I say for the baby and anybody else that's going to get involved, say it with your chest, man.
Should he apologize?
Does Donald Trump have to apologize?
No, he don't. So there it is there. See, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's a difference.
Pretend like you trying to say something. Like, if you don't mean an apology, then don't give one.
The president literally said I grabbed her by her crotch. He literally said it. They voted for him.
Well, he said that's locker room talk.
Okay. Rapper, that ain't rapper talk.
Hey, no, I'm
homophobic is rapper talk all the way. I would say at least 5-7 years ago. Now it's like it's almost
a norm. It's a norm.
At least be questionable. Mm-hmm. You gotta at least come in a little bit like
he might be suspect. You know what I mean?
Let's play his album because he
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bo, we all want to know what the purple ribbon is, man. Can you explain it to us? Yeah, we definitely all want to know what the purple ribbon. You shot us a shot that I know nothing about.
Yeah,
and I must,
I'm a little old.
You know what I'm saying?
For the old school.
But I just never personally. I've seen it with the Lil Wayne, a little thing, but like little bit, but like to see like this dude says something, and then the next week shows are being canceled. He's probably gonna be getting taken. I really haven't even heard him on the radio anymore. You know what I'm saying?
But does that not at least give us more ammunition or fuel that we have to? That it really lets you know we don't really own enough because we don't even have the opportunity and ability to have free speech.
Oh, correct.
And when you have something like rap, which is really the basis of free speech, right? Like you almost can say anything but this. I think, and again, I don't really want to touch on it on terms to say that, whatever sexual orientation you might have, how you would like to identify yourself, has anything really to do with it. I think it just has more to do with just saying what it is that you feel comfortable saying. And after having the run that we had for the 4 years with the president, as you talked about, Robert, we clearly saw that, it was still supported. And I mean, I just think that we have to still stay in a space where we can't just be in a point where cancel culture drives or
it's not a good look if he go out there. What he said is not a good look for the people, right?
For
like in terms of if he's promoting against human their rights. They go to show where like we in the sports. Can't go back to your boy kneeling down. He didn't do nothing wrong.
See cancel culture with him.
He didn't do nothing wrong. Now they ridicule. He ain't in football again.
Now I'm thinking about it, I've seen more.
This cancel culture's been going on.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Your boy kneeling down.
They love you. I'm not black, I'm OJ, right? They'll get you out there until you don't really serve purpose for their agenda, and then now it's cancel culture. If we own more stuff, like Ice Cube having a lot more ownership in what he does, he can go out and say some reckless stuff, and then come back in, put a suit and tie on, and then really launch the big three.
Do his thing,
right? And it's like that. I just think that we need to be more involved with that. And listen, I'm saying if we all special, then nobody's special. So what if you gay? So what if you identify as something else like that? I mean, or what do you identify as? If that makes you special, then I'm pretty sure somebody that's not, they are special. And if we all special, then nobody's special. I mean, listen, we ain't there should be no additional anything for somebody who's doing anything other than expressing themselves. And that's just what it is. I mean, you've got people on Facebook that you have as friends or associates. Sometimes they'll type something and you just be like, man, I heard it once, but then you do it too much. Yeah. It's not like I don't have to cancel you. I just don't need to have that as something I need to see on my feed. And I think for a lot of us, that's the same thing. If you don't like it, don't go to the baby show.
Yeah, real talk.
Keep it pushing.
And Big Lynn agrees with you. He says it's about ownership. And I'm definitely in agreement. It's about ownership. We do need to own more things and have full control and say what we want, do what we want, and that way we won't be able to be canceled.
We need a black Mar-a-Lago.
We need a black a lot.
We don't have the power. That's the key. They find ways to take away from us. When we get powerful, they find ways to take away from us. You see all the successful black people, they end up dying. Think about it.
It gets weird.
You know what I'm saying? As you ever notice that everybody listens to the baby. Oh, the baby this, the baby that, the baby this. He was getting powerful, and then they
put him in when he shouldn't have went in.
Lil Wayne's supposed to be in jail right now, man. He got a pardon from Trump. Listen, all he had to do was go out there and put that PSA out there like, hey, vote for Trump. And he put on that little V-neck. Remember he did that?
Yeah.
He was like, vote for Trump. Yeah. He was like, you do that, we'll get you out, man. Because he was taking a case.
Yeah, you ain't.
He had a case.
He's powerful. He can get tracked.
If you had something else where the baby was just like, hey, man, look, I blew it. And they'd be like, no, we cool, we blessed it. You good to go. And then you could have kept it pushing. So, speaking of rap, while we stay in the rap, now he's not an active rapper, but I mean, let's have that conversation about if some of y'all been looking in the news, Dr. Dre's daughter, his 38-year-old daughter, has been putting. There's been a storyline that she's homeless, living in her car, and she's saying this is basically because he's not giving her any money. And I guess how do y'all feel about that? Remember the dude is worth $1 billion.
Okay, now let me ask you this:
his alimony is.
Let me ask you this.
$300,000 a month.
All right, look. How old is his daughter?
38.
38. Okay. Don't you think she's 38 years old? He ain't never gave her a chance to give her money. He ain't never gave her no money. Go, come on now. Come on now. My daughter, 38 years old. You're spoiled. You're not gonna keep getting my money. I can see where he coming from. Like the girl, 38 years old. I'm pretty sure he gave her millions of dollars and she blew it. We don't know what she's doing.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
Okay, well, why would he not take care of his daughter? If his daughter doing everything right, he's not going to leave his daughter homeless. Why is she homeless? It's something more to the effect of, if I'm giving you these much of dollars, you might be smoking it up. You might be, doing drugs. That's why she's homeless. He's not going to help her out until she help herself. That's the only thing I can think that's why this situation is like it is.
Well,
Other than that,
I would say this. I mean, standing next to somebody with money don't make you rich. And I mean, I think she could have maybe had some resources. Maybe she was always the black sheep and really never gravitated towards that. But I just don't think any 38-year-old should be looking at anybody around them as the reason why they're not in a position of success or an opportunity for success. It's gonna really have to come down to what she got going on, what she's trying to get done for herself. I don't think her father has anything to do. There's a lot of these, billionaire parents and stuff that's not even giving their kids money. They literally is like some of the Bill Gates and their Buffetts. They're just like, man, we're gonna give all our money away to charity.
Yeah, they like kids ain't. Y'all better go ahead and get it now.
I mean, why is that? It's unfortunate that she's in a tough situation, but. I don't necessarily say it's because her father's.
I'm not leaving my daughter 38 years old homeless if she's doing something right. And I got grandbabies and kids. I'm not going to do that. So something ain't right.
What I'm gonna say about that is that I'm with you in agreement that she shouldn't, regardless of what your dad does, you shouldn't be looking for handouts. You should be able to take care of yourself, definitely. But speaking on Dr. Dre, and I believe he has a history of another son that he has that he never took care of either. So it's like this may be his history, and if hasn't been taken care of for 38 years, don't even play the game now. Don't play the game now.
Listen, Dr. Dre makes great beats, from what we understand, and he has definitely been a pioneer in hip hop. But he's got a long track record of not being the best towards women, not
daughter, kids,
father, not being the best person in general. You know what I'm saying? So that could have a lot to do with it. But so what? Like, okay, cool. Your father is stingy and he just wants to be rich, and you happen to be his daughter. Yeah. Okay, but keep it pushing.
You got to get out here and get it.
You got to keep it pushing.
You got to get out here and get it. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Bo says the installation of the purple ribbon soften this new generation, but we still trying to figure out what the purple ribbon is. So this new generation.
Yeah, Big Lynn say, what is the purple ribbon?
And then Big Lynn says, just because I'm a millionaire doesn't mean I have to take care of you. Even if you are my child, especially if you are a grown ass woman.
38?
Yeah. I'm saying he already didn't take care of her, so it's something down the line that, and my daughter's in type of a need right now. She's 38 years old, and I know she's not doing nothing wrong. I'm going to help her out. So it's something along the lines that she ain't doing right for him not to help her out. Unless you said, he's never been in her life before, I could see that. But other than that, I don't know.
I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate. Maybe she's burned too many bridges. Maybe he's enabled her. Maybe whatever it is. Because
he ain't broke.
But at 38 years old, you got to be able to get out here and get it. You got to be able to try to get up out here and get it. And, maybe, she could use a crutch from her dad, but if he ain't giving a crutch, you got to get it, man.
It just is what it is, man. It's like, and speaking of crutches and stuff, and this is something that we slipped in there as a topic, but, there was a national moratorium on rent, where basically saying people, it was over. Like y'all got to bust a move, and that was a conversation. A lot of people was like, hey, it's still it's a COVID out there,
pandemic.
So what you want me to do, man? I can't but do nothing. I can't work, and they're like, man, we need to just stay in these cribs. And it just falls back on, the landlords and the people who own these buildings and these establishments. Is that something that, again, we are creating a opportunity for people who don't want it? Because, let's be honest. I'm pretty sure there's people out here who are in tough situations who really need it.
Yeah.
But with anything, there's going to be some people who take advantage of it. What are we doing? What do we have in place that's going to make that? I personally feel like if your rent, your car, anything is getting paid for consistently, you have to have certain standards to be able to manage that. And that comes with stuff like drug test. You're going to have to, I said it, you're going to have to take a drug test to get your rent paid, which means you are subject to randoms. You got to take a rando.
I can't disagree.
Right? You got to take a rando.
You over there.
I can't disagree.
I know you over there wrong.
Because
wrong.
You gotta call your color.
Yeah.
You can't put them on probation now. You got them on probation, boy, in their welfare.
Hey, you got to do that.
I think you got to have certain opportunities that you have to submit for jobs. You have to show why this job is not something that you can take. You have to be able to support your claim, because if you don't, what is going to keep? Who want to get up and go get this every day? Man?
It's about accountability. It's about accountability and responsibility, and
money management.
And if they just giving the money, or if they just doing these things to help you out, and you don't even really need it, you just fucking off everything else.
You don't know you don't need it, but if you set up a curriculum where you gotta follow it, and then you be like, yeah, I'd rather just go ahead and go get the bread than following this curriculum, because y'all got me out here taking these randos. Yeah. You got me out here trying to submit these applications. I gotta be able to explain my situation. I have to be able to go take certain physicals throughout this process. It has to be something that's just a little bit more than just saying, hey, we can't kick you out, because at the end of the day, we ain't gonna make it as a society.
I tell you one thing, if you ain't up on your child support, they make you do all of that.
Yes,
they make you do all of that. Everything
is it not in place? So we already have stuff in place that says it. So if we're gonna
thank God, I got one more one. Just one last month. I'm done.
We're gonna close out this year. And then not only that, but stop giving the money to the tenants. Get the money to the landlord. They can put it straight into the actual. Yeah. It should be cash. It should be actual credit to your.
Like a voucher.
Landlord.
Like a voucher. One of them vouchers to the landlord.
And then it goes in there. It's not. You can't cash it. You just got to give it to them, and then I actually give you an opportunity. And again, I'm not saying that there's not people in tough situations, but if you're in a tough situation, you'd be willing to go through all that.
Yeah. But that way, everybody gets paid. That way, the landlord is able to keep his.
You are on a certain curriculum that you have to be able to follow to be able to stay, because you can become you can mess around and become uneligible because you're not meeting these certain standards, and then we gotta move on. But I think if we setting these kind of standards, I think it'll put us in a better position. It's just not this, hey man, it's PPP, just make this up, it's stimulus, it just helps it. Because I mean, honestly, everybody knows somebody who got their stimulus and their PPP. You know what they was doing with it.
I mean, they weren't doing the right thing. They ain't got no business getting the PPP loan. I would open up your business. I got that PPP loan. Why you didn't get? I opened up a business. That's what I did.
And I mean, I take nothing away from the people who invested their funds properly, and I shout out to everybody.
Yeah, who did.
Tough situation right now.
Use it.
Really trying to get to the next level with it. But I bet you none of those people are going to argue this either. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm all on board. Like, test me, give me a curriculum, but I just need help. Yeah. The other ones who ain't, they're going to be the ones that stand out immediately. Be like, nah, we shouldn't be tested. We should just continue to get. That should be
the things that's going on right now, man, with employment, like you got businesses closing early. I went to 2 stores, same store. Both of them were closed because they had a lack of employees. I went to Wendy's this morning at work. They were closed because of lack of employees.
Nobody want to work.
This was in Highlands Ranch. Something gotta give. It make me want to be like, man, hey, man, is the money going to be better?
In the same aspect, I think they should have, vouchers for childcare. Because I know for a lot of parents, when you're a single parent, you got 2, 3 kids, it's difficult to be able to be like, well, I get it, I can go to work, but then who's going to watch the kids? I'm going to have to give all that back to childcare. Yeah. Okay, let's come up with a childcare credit. Bam.
They got it. They got it out there for lower income people, but not people that's making up $80,000 and $90,000 that's still struggling. They don't have it. They don't have programs for that. They only got it for people that's not making that type of money.
Anybody that gets something that they don't work for consistently, who is not retired and they're getting paid back from their working years, because I think if you've worked and earned that, you should have your retirement.
401ks and all that. Yeah.
Nature, because you have been a earner for our society where we've been able to tax you and put that money into another program while you were in your working years. That I'm not tripping on, but I'm talking about for people in their working years. Anybody, I don't care. It don't have to be because of COVID. It could be because of anything. It could be what are some of the things that they have out now? The Wix, all that stuff.
Yeah, that
should come with a curriculum because they created it at one point, but now it's starting to break up our families.
That's what it did. That's what it was meant for, to break us up.
I mean, in one place now where it's like, you should have, if you have a spouse or a live-in person, that should be accepted and welcomed. We shouldn't be able to say, well, we're going to take benefits away from you. No, we're saying it is. We're saying that there's certain opportunities that you guys can go to trade school. You guys can. I think a lot of people want to be empowered, but it's almost like the programs are set up for you to do nothing.
It was set up for them. It was set up for them not to worry about the black man working no more. I got free money now.
The black man working in prison.
Yeah, that's it. We in prison.
Working in prison.
The black woman was said it took a broke home.
So you have a certain level of empowerment.
It created a situation where they felt that the black man wasn't needed. It created a situation in our communities where the government is now playing the father figure role. So they're the ones doing all these things that a father used to do. So I mean, and that's a whole nother situation. But Bo says vouchers won't stimulate the economy. They want you to spend outside of the direct intent. Outside the direct intent.
Yeah.
I mean, I shout out to Bo for that. I get it, but I mean, we're not really talking about really stimulating the economy. We're just trying to make sure people are not homeless.
Homeless, yeah, period.
And if we're looking at homeless, I mean, you would feel a lot better about yourself if you got a place to come home to and you can get
comfortably.
Yeah, and
not having to worry about nobody knocking on your door.
For a gig, and I think, and there's other stimulus opportunities, but you know, just handing out money without any kind of
just
with no accountability. That's what it is. There's no accountability.
It's free money,
and people.
Our kids gonna have to pay for that.
People are definitely taking advantage of it. Like
you know that
we about to pay for it.
No, I'm thinking your son and my daughter, the little ones, they gonna have to pay for that on the back end of this free money we getting out right now. It ain't us.
And Big Lynn says what's not fair is the people that owe child support they don't get a stimulus, and that's wrong. And he said the stimulus checks are the reason why people are not going to work. I go to work every day and I don't get a stimulus check.
I don't need it, brother man. I feel you, brother man.
I would just believe the reason why people are not going to work because now they've created a system where you're making more money on unemployment than you did while you were working. So a lot of people, they're like, why would I go back to work? I'm making more money now.
I think even at the end of the day, you know, even at a job, you have to be at work at a certain time.
Yeah. It's accountability.
Perform at a certain level. You can't, anything that you're going to be in a real economy that's going to be successful, it has to have that certain level of accountability that you bring up. And I mean, any program that doesn't have something that has a level of accountability.
People are going to take advantage
I just think it's a form of slavery. We just getting paid for it. Don't y'all think?
I don't think it's...
We got to report. We got to know what someone said. We got to report to work at a certain time. We got to perform at a certain level and somebody paying us, right? But and if we don't get paid, they fire us, right?
Yeah, but how you don't get fired in slavery, man? You like that's.
I mean, it's just a form of I just think it's like we going to work for the man, we clocking into the man, he paying us, but he got control of our lives when it comes to a job. He can fire us anytime he want to, right? Yes or no? You're not working. You're not clocking in your own company. You clocking into the next man company, making him rich. Period. It's nothing you can justify that.
But in a free market, and I think that's really what it comes down to, is if you're in a free market, then that means like, hey, you don't provide a competitive wage, so I can go to somebody else. And so, or you don't have a good or a strong, healthy work environment, so I can go to somebody else. And I think that's the difference between what I think a lot of people, sometimes not so much what you say in general, or they say like New Age slavery. It's like you couldn't get fired from slavery. You got killed, but you didn't get fired.
You got whooped.
Like,
you got someone like
it. You couldn't quit from slavery.
Yeah, they gonna whoop
your wages.
They gonna whoop your ass back. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go over there to the Johnson plantation because
they gonna sell you. They gonna sell you off to the next.
I could do a little bit better at the.
I ain't gonna just keep slapping around.
Hey, you got somebody who agrees with you. Trey 80 Graham says most death is modern day slavery. Big Lynn says the people that owe child support, man, they do hold them accountable. He said he puts in his 2 weeks of work, man, and he said he just put in his 2 weeks of work, and then they asked me why I'm leaving. I'm told him I'm trying to make, because he's trying to make the owner rich. You're always making somebody rich.
You can't get no PTO in slavery either, though, man. You can't call in sick on slavery and shit. Like
Only way to change this narrative is to become owners of businesses. But you're always going to be working for somebody, unless everybody is an entrepreneur. But you're always going to pay somebody. You're going to pay taxes. You're going to pay somebody else is going to get. Somebody else is going to get rich off of you regardless.
I love it. Great segue. So when you brought that up, about the Welton Street Cafe, which again, maybe some of the listeners, shout out to Welton Street first and foremost, because I mean, I like that we have,
black-owned companies.
Well, let's talk about that, and I think that's part of it, because I think Welton Street itself as the cafe is black-owned, but they're in a building that they don't own. But they had to raise, and they did, and I mean, shout out to everybody that supported, invested, either with just their words or money. They raised up to like $41,000 through like one of the news stations.
Yeah, Channel 7.
But it was for the building, not just for the restaurant. So the elevator, the air conditioning, the plumbing, the stuff.
So they own the building. They own the building now.
And that's what we're talking about. They don't.
They don't own,
and that's what I'm saying. They should be at a certain point where you got to renegotiate that contract and have that conversation. Like, what other tenant in here brought $41,000 to this building? First off, and then second of all, what other tenant didn't receive some benefit of these improvements to the building, where plumbing and elevator and the AC and heat has been corrected? I'm pretty sure it wasn't just for that unit.
No, the whole building was like that. The whole building was down, and so you got to be able to use your negotiation tactics at that point.
Man,
so
let me say this:
when you got that 41,000. Then you got to work on saying, I want to buy this piece,
or I need a percentage.
Something you have to use the negotiation tactics at that time. You just can't say, here, I want to pay just to stay in business, when this person could still turn around and sell that business tomorrow.
The whole building.
No. That's what I'm saying. See, the key is right now with black-owned businesses, we don't own the building. We own that business in that person's building. Correct. So we still paying that man. Still own our shit. Because we're using his building with our shit, so we don't own our shit still. You know what I'm saying? We need to buy that building.
Correct. So when the news is putting up these stories and they're like, "Hey, we want to tell you guys, look, we've done this for all of the listeners, people who got involved, blah blah blah," and they had a story and they selling it like, "Hey, look, this and this." That owner, the building owner, can be like, "Thank you for the improvements."
Yes.
Sell the building
to the white man.
The new building owner could kick you
out.
Straight out.
And you just split all that money that makes that million. That's what I'm saying.
Sell the building for more. They don't. Now that everything's fixed,
you got improvements.
Now I just got equity. I got more equity.
And I'm kicking you out of there.
Now I'm getting my money. I sell it. I'm not worried about you. And like you say, the next owner come here and say, "Hey, I don't want Welton Street Cafe here."
So what if they was like, "Man, we giving y'all $40,000 so that you guys can buy a small building that just supports you all's
your own personal building. You own that property. You own that building."
You have to start understanding, because they're putting this stuff out here. And I'm not saying it. So again, I want to make sure we're clear on it. Shout out to Welton Street Cafe. Shout out to the people who support it. Shout out to everybody who's invested in that, because that counts, right? But what we're saying is, what is the long-term investment of that, and what do we really get out of it? Because I don't want it to be a PR opportunity for the news station. I don't want it to be a PR opportunity for a black-owned business. But then next summer, but before the end of Christmas,
they close down.
And then maybe Channel 7 don't come back over there to say, "Hey, look, the building's gone now." They just move on to another story. There's got to be a certain point where we have a investment in our product, and say, because we talked about that before with infrastructure with black businesses, and say that's part of infrastructure. So we got to start looking for buildings. Yeah. And then if I have a building, not only can I have Welton Street in here, but upstairs from that we can have an ice cream shop in there that's black owned, or down below it.
We own this building.
Yeah, a hot dog stand in front of that by a black-owned, little smaller, younger entrepreneurs who are just running little hot dog stands or whatever it is, and it's on your sidewalk in front of your building, so it's okay. But it's like, that's the next level for us. I think that has to be.
Trey 80 Graham says they know its value. They show there's value there. So rather Welton Street stays or goes, there's still capital to gain.
Yep, right there.
Big Lynn says, let's see in a year or two. Don't be surprised if the owner sells the building. I mean, you guys are.
What do you have in place that says otherwise?
If you didn't negotiate,
we don't own that building. We just own the spot in that building. We just own the business in that building. We don't own that building.
How many times did they hustle with young people back in the day, where they would be like, man, they'd be in big budget movies, big opportunities, and they would give you, they'd be like, "Hey man, here, just take this $50,000 right now, cash in hand." You'd be like, "Cool," and then somebody else was like, "You know what? Nah, let me just get 2.5% of this movie itself, and then you can just give me $10,000 right now."
Yeah,
and that cat's still eating to this day.
Yeah, he's still eating.
And they what's the dude's name? Somebody Weaver, and his mom had negotiated a contract like that, where he had played Michael Jackson in a movie. He was that young dude. He played a young Michael Jackson, but he was in something where he had ended up, his mom had negotiated a contract where she was like, nah, we're cool. We don't want the 50,000 or whatever it is that you're gonna give us. She was like, give us 10, and we just want 2% of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, cool, man. It's like, I guess whatever happens, happens. This dude is still eating off the royalties.
Still getting that. Still getting money.
That whoever got 50,000 got taxed on that by 40%, and that was gone, but before the next fiscal year,
and done.
So this is what we got to understand. We definitely people, and as a
young business
and as a community, we got to start understanding what is the big picture. What are you really getting out of this?
You got it.
These guys is getting music contracts for a chain and stuff. It's like, but look at my chain. Yeah, but do you have?
What do you own? Do you own your music rights to your music? You got a house.
I sold $2 million, and I sold 2 million records, and all I got is this chain and a couple $100,000 a show.
Don't own no houses, no cars, no nothing.
Yeah, and if you'd have negotiated everything right, you were gonna always get that money. So we definitely have to do better as creating knowledge of business and knowing the value of self and not being taken by the quick big picture. Oh, I see this 50 grand, I'm gonna take it, I'm good. No, you gotta slow money. You gotta get that slow money and get that consistent money, get that residual money.
There you go.
We gotta learn how to do we gotta learn how to do that. Big Lynn says we got one more topic before we get up out of here, but Big Lynn says his uncle told him if I buy anything, buy some land and build on it, and that's a good thing. You always land usually always goes up. It hardly ever decreases, and you put the right thing on it, you can make money off that land.
Sure.
So
shout out to who's that?
Big Lynn.
So we touched on this on Tuesday real quick, but we gonna talk about this Delta variant, this whole COVID thing, these mandated vaccinations that some city municipal counties are making people do, or certain companies are making people do. I just want to see how y'all feel about it, or see how you feel about it, because I already kind of know how Robin feels about it. I want to see how you feel about it.
You touch on it. I'm good. You can touch on it. How your feelings about it?
I think for me it's a little bit more simpler than that. I think if you have made a commitment that you are not going to get vaccinated, which is well within anybody's rights, right? Ain't nobody in here talking about you got to get poked up. We have been hustled on the Tuskegee program and other certain projects that they have done for our community where we was getting poked up without it being,
give a nigga syphilis.
But I say this though, we're not in that particular situation. We are at least clear that it's not like a black vaccine and a white vaccine. It was given like on the Tuskegee project, it was specifically for black folks. Right?
Experiment on black folks.
Like they don't have a different label on it for like the black vaccine and the white vaccine and the Mexican vaccine. If you don't want to take the vaccine, that's fine. But there's going to be different restrictions on you, and it has to be that way because, again, the country would not have opened up if we didn't have the level of people who got vaccinated to begin with in the first place. If everybody said we're not going to get vaccinated, you still would not be going to the store. You still not be going to the club. You still wouldn't be going to those concerts. You still wouldn't be sitting down and eating at a restaurant. You still would not be at any of these events and the opportunities. Your kids still wouldn't be able to go to the park because it was closing parks at one point.
Shit was closed. Rec centers.
So you wouldn't have any of that unless there was a certain that people did go out there and take these specific risks. And I know with the Pfizer are getting closer to making it FDA approved, which is not saying that you ain't gonna catch like a baby's arm growing out your forehead in 10 years. But what I will say is that you can't not take the vaccine and then go to the hospital if you get sick. You're gonna have to just sleep it off. You're gonna have to get some tussin. And just sleep it off.
Old school remedy, like my man said.
Yeah, man, you gotta get some, kale pectate. You gotta get some.
You got stuff that are regular home remedies, man.
Calamine lotion. You gotta get like cod liver oil. You gotta get all that stuff and just sleep it off. And then that way because you at least are not taking up these hospital beds, because that's what a lot of our medical staff is saying right now is the biggest problem, is that our hospital beds are getting taken up by people who are unvaccinated. So if you're not going to get vaccinated, you got to sit at the house and you got to flex that off, man. And if you want to do that, I'm pretty sure even if it's you that don't make it, somebody in your family going to see that. And they're going to be like, well, I ain't like the way he went out. Maybe I might go ahead and get poked up. And that in itself is going to drive a certain level of awareness. But in the meantime, you can't just be taking up these hospital beds saying like I ain't gonna get vaccinated, but if I get this cough, I'm gonna pull up to the
stay on sit on.
You gotta chill. You gotta chill. If you said I got this and I'm cool, then you gotta have that and be cool.
Big Lynn says out in the Yay area, man, they making folks get their shots if they want to work in the hospitals in the food industry, and they're actually doing that out here also.
They are.
And what do you think about mandated? What do you think about the mandated?
Yeah,
vaccines?
but the only thing is mandated is if you're talking about going to work, and if you're saying your beliefs is that strong that you don't want to get a vaccination to go to a specific job, they're not saying you have to get vaccinated to stay at home.
So they're saying you got to get vaccinated to work at this job.
Okay,
correct?
So then that ain't
if anything is I'm vaccinated, by the way, but if anything happens to you because you took this vaccination,
okay,
and your company made you do it,
okay,
should the company be liable for what happens to you at that point?
I mean, listen, I think that at the end of the day, that doesn't have to be the company you work for.
I mean, I'm with you.
So, I mean, if you feel like this company doesn't support you as a person and your beliefs and your rights to not get vaccinated, then you just got to step. This is what we in, a free market. You can go to another job, and there's other jobs out there that may be a little bit more accommodating for that. And if you're like, no job will do it, then maybe that's where you got to create your own hustle, and then maybe you got to start doing something on your own and create your own business and your own revenue line, and then take that as a risk opportunity. But what you can't be doing is saying that I'm not going to go do it, and then something happened, and you be like, all right, now come, fix me or help me. You got to pick a lane. And that's just
I mean, and I'm with you, and I'm with you, and I mean, let's get one thing clear: as these vaccines and vaccinations are going, let's get a couple things clear. The vaccine is not a cure.
It's not.
So a lot of people thinks that it's a cure. It's definitely not a cure, and. So I mean, it's there to lessen the blow if you contract it.
Yeah.
And basically that's what it's there for. And I don't know if it makes it harder to pass, but I think it's helpful. Let me read a couple of things. And Robbie, I know you got something you want to say.
I gotta say.
Big Lynn says at this rate we're just going to have a job that will make you get vaccinated. Trey Eddie Graham said he's on the fence. He's been against inoculation unless it's been backed by years of extensive research. I'm also worried because my kids are not. I'm also weary because my kids are not old enough to be inoculated and returning to school. It's almost like if we want to keep them safe, my wife and I have to. We're really at odds.
You can keep your kids home too. A lot of these school systems now are starting to say that, like, they're going to move towards a vaccination situation, or you're going to have to log in.
Yeah, we're not glad that.
Big Lynn also says he's vaccinated too, even though he didn't want to. He had to if he wanted to keep his job. Like he said earlier, I don't get a stimulus check, so how would I pay my bills if I don't get vaccinated, if I don't have a job? And Trey Eddie Graham also says the fact that there was a lotto, it kind of makes him suspicious. And Big Lim said, so these are all ideas. I mean, these are all good thoughts, and these are all like good things. And I mean, I don't believe in mandated things. I don't think they should be able to make you get it. But like you say, hey, if I can go to another place of employment.
Or start my own business.
Or start your own business.
And I know, and I'm not taking it away from people that's like, look, I'm in a tough situation. I don't have the money to start a new business, or this job right now is taking care of my current needs and bills. Completely understand that, but you also have to take into consideration that there is a risk every day you leave your house. There's a risk every day. And don't think that because you went to the hospital, they got, 100% medications. There's a lot of people who've had sick parents and loved ones who the doctors will come down and say, hey, look, we have this experimental XYZ, but I think it might get you a little bit further in the situation than what we standardly have now. And you got to make a decision on that as well, too. It's what we have to do. We have to continue to put ourselves in situations where we are making informed decisions and what we want to see for ourselves as a society. Because remember, if we didn't have everybody vaccinated that we have vaccinated now, nothing that you are going to right now that is open would be open.
We'll still be in the same boat.
But they said the people that's vaccinated, they say that virus is jumping off of people that's not vaccinated, jumping off.
That's
From the
a little different.
from the unvaccinated. Say you vaccinated, right? It's jumping off of you coming. If I'm not vaccinated, it's going to me. So all the people that's vaccinated is going past them, jumping off the people that's on non-vaccinated. But
I don't
know.
I don't believe it's doing that. But once you got it, you got it. It's just lessening the.
But how do you get it though?
Shit.
How do you get you vaccinated, right? So you should the odds of you getting it, you shouldn't get it, but you can get it still, right?
If I'm not taking the correct precautions.
Basically, the vaccination as it's been explained, and especially depending on which one you take. So I don't want to say specifically for all of them and how it works to the detail, but it's basically allowing your body a chance to fight it off, so it doesn't get so caught off guard when it hits it that you're not able to fight it off properly. It's exposing it to it early enough, or it's exposing it to your body to it so that your white blood cells, your body itself, it understands this foreign virus or this foreign substance in your body, and it already has a game plan on how to fight it. And I think that's what the flu shot is. That's what a lot of these.
I ain't never took none of that stuff.
I never took the flu shot, but the what was happening with the flu as opposed to COVID and Delta has been a whole different ball game. And like I said, everybody's got to make that personal decision of choice, but I think at the end of the day, you can't be sitting on the fence. At some point, you got to bust a move. What you gonna do? Either not do it and take the repercussions for it, or do it and keep it pushing and take the risk for it as well too. So
I mean, and these are all good comments. I'm gonna read these comments and we're gonna get up out of here. And Big Lynn says, even if you start your own business, you still got to worry about the COVID. And he said his job never closed down when the COVID first hit. He's been working the whole time. Thank you. I've been working too, Big Lynn.
Me too, Big Lynn. I work from home.
I never got that essential worker pay or whatever they were giving. Hazard
they
pay.
never gave me that either.
So I don't even know where they're giving that at. But I'll take that. And
where they do that at?
Trey Eddie Graham, he big facts. He says because at that point you're responsible for your own health care. And Trey Eddie Graham also says that you're going to need a booster to ward off the variant. Is building antibodies. So
listen, man, a lot of people who talking about they ain't taking the virus or they are taking the virus. I mean, we've been taking risks for a while. Y'all know y'all kids is not here on purpose. You know you got accidental kids. Now, we love them to death. I ain't saying that your kid is unwanted, but why? Because you wasn't wearing jimmies. You took the risk of getting something else, right? You took the risk of getting the cootie bug when you was laying down with your significant other.
Right. Well, we don't clean from.
All of a sudden, super clean.
We don't clean from dirty now.
Couple shots of Sherman Edwards.
Man, my thing is, man, there's a lot of things that, people put in their body and they don't know how it's going to affect them.
You better not smoke crack. You better not be,
anything can kill you.
Anything that because everything you're doing right now, some of y'all eating, your cholesterol level is at a COVID level, man. You think a lot of these people is dying because they're in the best shape? A lot of what's happening with COVID and Delta and all these other viruses taking us out is that we are not in shape. We are not living right to begin with. So when you put something on top of it, obviously it's going to take you out the game. Yeah. You can't be out here eating, having the kind of diet that you have, not having a workout regimen, and think that if it ain't Delta or COVID today, that ain't going to be something tomorrow.
It's always a possibility that something happens.
You lose a foot, man. Just if everything went right, you're going to lose a foot.
So, man, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the day.
Workout.
All I'm going to say is, man, everybody take care of yourself. If you're taking the shot, hey,
drink water.
Just take care of yourself, and everybody be a little bit cleaner or whatever you do, man. We got to get this shit up out of here. I want the world to open all the way back up. I hope they're not doing that.
They're definitely doing that.
Drink a shooter. I'm gonna give you a drink a shooter, right? Drink a shooter, Big Lynn.
Big Lynn said drink shooters, but shouts out for coming in once again, Sebo.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you on the show.
Man.
We
no fingerprints, man.
Yeah, no fingerprints. We always love you on the show. Shout out for Robbie Rocket. We coming out on what we call it? We calling it Fired Up Friday. We got fired up about a few things, and I'm gonna leave it with Trey Eddie Graham with the last statement of the day. He said, "What are the long-term side effects of the vaccines? I mean, 10 years from now, what are the long-term side effects of having COVID-19? We don't know much about it, man. It just happened. So I don't got the answer. You don't got the answer.
Yeah, man.
We gonna see in 10 years. We're gonna see if we see one of these commercials to say, hey, if you took the Pfizer vaccine and whoop-de-whoop from this time to this time, and then, hey, you get in for a class action.
I do understand the long-term effects of being dead is you stay dead. So, I mean, you're going to have to at least be able to look at that. What you doing right now?
Hey, you got to figure.
That lady said in 6 years they're going to be dropping dead taking that virus.
Hey,
so there it is.
Y'all doing too much, man. We all gonna be here. I hope everybody's here in 6 years. I hope everybody's here in 6 years. But here on the AHRR Network, they like you to like, share, repeat, retweet, and do it all again. And here on Game Point, I got my boy Sebo, my boy Robbie the Rocket. Hey, thanks for watching, and we out.
Yay!
All right, man, gentlemen, appreciate it, man.